Okay, let's do a little chat here on trade goods. What to trade, how to trade, that kind of stuff. We'll get into a little more of that, but that's what I'm looking at right here. Today we're going to talk about trade items if you're going to do any bartering, what I'm going to use versus what other people use. I'm pretty simple on this stuff. It's everything that I consider usable by the mass. I will never, ever, ever trade ammunition. I'm never going to give somebody an opportunity to shoot at me with something that I gave them. And people are going to say, "Oh my God, you got to be able to trade ammunition with your group." Well, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about bartering with my group, because in the group mentality, we're basically socialists when it comes to that. If I've got it, they need it, they can have it. But I'm not just going to give Joe Schmo off the street that I just met, I'm not going to give him 50 rounds of 223 that he can wipe out my family with. That will never, ever, ever happen. Ammunition is off the table for me. So, but we're going to go into the trade items, some of the trade items that I've got. Not all by means, but some. So that's where we're going to go with this video. Barter goods or trade items. Same thing as far as I'm concerned. A little story that goes along with this. I had a friend of mine who bought some storage units about 100 miles from here, and I made the agreement that I would go over and help him sort through the stuff. He kept what he wanted, I got what I wanted, and some of the stuff I actually paid for. I got $75 into basically 3/4 of a pickup. My pickup was like 3/4 of the way full of stuff on my way back. So I think I did pretty decent for 75 bucks. My clinger skills worked very, very well on this one. And basically I put things into two categories. I put comfort items on one side and basic necessities on the other. When it comes to trading, it all comes down to supply and demand. If you've got the materials, you've got the supply, you're setting the prices. And it's always best to be in that situation than it is the other way around. So you're going to want to have something of some kind if you're planning on trading. I really don't want to trade if I don't have to, but I would rather be safe than sorry. So we're going to back up here. I'm going to show you the stuff that I've got. I'll refer to it as hotel if I got it from the hotel. Otherwise, I bought it from either Walmart or a grocery store or a hardware store, or I grew it myself. So we're going to go from there. So we're going to back this up and get started. Okay, some of this is hotel stuff, some of it was store-bought. I'm going to go over that quick here. I don't know what they had going on in these hotels or whatever, but there was cases of sterile gauze. I got, I don't know, there was a lot of them. There were 2 cases, and I think there's 1,000 of them in a case. And they're pretty good sized boxes. But I said there's a lot of those. A lot of those I put in my own stash. Bandages. There's Band-Aids. There's 4 or 5 different kinds of Band-Aids, from the big ones to the flat ones to like a Steri-Strip that's like a butterfly. These are for fingertips. Bigger ones, I said I know there's a good 1,000 Band-Aids that I got out of there. Some of those are, I took the good ones that I wanted in my stash, so they're stashed. They had boxes of antacids. Those are antacids. This is cold and flu, cold and sinus type of stuff. This is non-aspirins. There were boxes of these, so there's thousands that I've got of those. Fresh naps, little wet wipes. They're little wet wipes. And I don't know what he was doing with them at his hotel, don't care. But I've got 3 boxes of those, there's 1,000 in a box. So I got 3,000 of these old jobbers. Needless to say, all of my backpacks and stuff in my first aid kits that I built myself, there's a bunch of this kind of stuff in there. So there's that. Now, the big kill was bars of soap. There were multiple cases. I got 2 cases of bars of soap. There's 1,000 bars of soap in each box. There's 1,000 of these and there's 1,000 of those. Hotel soap. Now this stuff was from Walmart. Periodically Walmart will have bins that they put out. I picked up, these are low dose aspirin. There's 120 caplets in there and 49 cents. Ibuprofen, 40 of them in there for 49 cents. A couple of those. I got more of those, but this is just what I put out here. These were 89 cents in an 89-cent bin. There's 100 caplets here. This is acetaminophen, and this is ibuprofen. These are the wet wipes for cleaning heinies and taking off makeup. And there were package. There were 89 cents a package, and I bought a dozen of them, and I got what 8, 9 left. So that's there. So I'm going to move over here to the next set of stuff. Okay, stuff that came from the hotel. Ketchup came from the hotel. There was 1,000 packages in a box, so there's 1,000 of those. This has got like a 1.5 to 2 years worth of shelf life. I don't think I'd want to eat it any after that. It just turns to it's nasty. So I got that. The salt and pepper. I got this from the hotel stash. There's 2 boxes of salt, 3 boxes of pepper. That's 2,000 salt, 3,000 pepper. Tea bags. I ended up getting, there's 1,500 tea bags, a case and a half of tea bags that come out of there. So I got tea forever. This kind of stuff comes from your local drive-through. Anytime you go through a drive-through, they're going to ask you if you want your ketchup, mustard, salt, pepper, that kind of stuff. Say yes. They will throw it in a bag. What you don't eat or don't use at that particular time, put it, save it. Now we're going to go to the store-bought stuff. This is potted meat. I paid like 22 cents a piece for these. I'll take these little suckers and I'll throw them in a bag. If I'm going to go sit in a deer stand or whatever else, I'll take this kind of stuff. And like I said, it's not the greatest in the world, but it's edible. So in a grid down situation, food of any kind is going to be good to give to somebody to trade with. Vienna sausages is the same way. I like these little suckers, but they've got a lot of sodium to them, so you got to be careful. But I can pick these up for 30 cents a piece when they come on sale. Sardines. I like sardines. A lot of people don't. That's my prerogative. I like them. You can buy these anywhere from $1.20, $1.25, $24, $29, all the way down to 69 cents. I picked up these at 69 cents the last time they come on sale. I got a lot of those. Beans. If you want to trade beans, trade them. Food items to trade, I got it, so I'm trading them. 69 cents a package for both of those. I got black beans, navy beans, all kinds of stuff. We eat lots and lots of beans. The north sides. These I normally buy them at 89 cents. If I've got extra of them, I'll trade them. Basically, with these, I'll take them and put a small can of chicken and a can of mushrooms pieces and stems. Put the liquid in there with it and serve that as a meal. My wife and I will eat that. Ramen noodles. Go ahead and giggle, but I can buy these by the case at 9 cents a piece. 190 calories. They're lightweight, and if somebody's hungry, they'll eat them. Spices. This stuff is going to be hard to come by in a grid down situation because if you don't have a garden that you're growing this stuff in, which I do, I will have fresh, but I still buy this kind of stuff because it's convenient. This is going to be a trade item. People are going to get tired of eating the same old thing over and over again, and a little spice or a little different taste to food is going to be a big deal. Cinnamon. You may not think it's a big deal, but they are. If you've got anybody or know anybody who's got diabetes, this is going to be imperative to their health because this helps regulate blood sugar. Salt. In our area where we're at, we don't have access to large quantities of salt. So when this comes on sale, I buy it. This was like 47 cents for a pound 10 ounces. This is also a necessity of life. Your body requires it. And I also get this in 50-pound blocks. One of the guys in our in our group has a feed and seed store, so we can get salt blocks if we need it, but I'd rather have this. And last but not least, if you watch my other videos, you know that I have a seed bank. I buy seeds at the end of the year specifically for trade guides, because I can buy these anywhere from 4 to 9 cents a package. And in a situation where somebody is hungry and you can feed them, even as far as even helping rebuild a community, this is going to gain friends really, really quick. Hungry people will be friends really, really quick. So that takes care of this section. Let's go to the next. Okay, comfort foods and comfort items. Popcorn I grow myself. I like popcorn, and in a grid down situation, stress is going to be huge, and anything you can do to alleviate that, to bring a sense of normalcy, is what you want. So that's big there. Candy or any treats like that. I don't normally keep like the Jolly Ranchers or the butterscotch discs or the cinnamon disc, anything like that, because after a while they start to get slimy and sticky and you have a real hard time getting them out of the package. These you don't have a problem because they're basically nothing more than a compressed powder. So I keep a lot of that kind of stuff on hand. Now the rest of this stuff is basically hotel items. Oh, these aren't. These I got from Taco John's, the drive-through. They give them to you when you go through. I don't normally eat them, but I hang on to them. So, but the rest of this stuff is going to be hotel stuff. Okay, books of matches. I don't know what he was doing or how he was doing, but I got, there's 1,000 books of matches in the little boxes. There's 10 boxes in a crate. So there's that. There's probably 15, 20 different containers like this strewn around in a bunch of boxes. Lighters. There were 47 packages of 3-pack lighters. So that gives me almost 150 lighters like this. The cigarettes. I don't smoke, but I had to giggle. We were going through the box of linen after I got home, and there were 9 cartons of cigarettes in these boxes. So there's like $450 plus out of this with taxes and stuff. Shampoos and body lotions. There's a couple of 100 bottles of each of these. So again, that was for hotels, and that's where all this stuff came from. So, and in a grid down situation after the first couple of months, this stuff is not going to be around anymore. So if you've got it, it's going to be worth, it's going to have some value to it. There were 10 cases of 10 each of these, and they're basically a 5-hour energy type of deal. So you figure $3 a piece for those, there's $300. The thing that just made me giggle a lot is when we were going through here on these, out of the boxes that we had strewn around in there was this kind of stuff. There's 186 bottles of this kind of stuff. There's Bacardis, there's Jack Daniels, there's Skull vodka, there's all kinds of crap in there. I don't drink, but this stuff doesn't go bad, so I've got put in a 5-gallon bucket full of just this kind of stuff that I can trade. So that pretty much does it for here. Let's get into hows and whens of trading. Okay, what, where, why, whens, and hows. We're going to make this quick and simple here. When this happens, and it's going to, you're not going to want to let anybody know that you have any quantity, large quantities of anything. So your language and the words that you use, you got to be very careful on. For instance, I take this package in somewhere, and I get to wanting to trade something for this package, or I find somebody who's needing something. I'll say, I've got this. Well, how much of that do you have? Oh, I have a lot of it, or I have a bunch, or I've got 15 packages of it. You just painted a target on your back, and you've just, what you were looking for wise, you have driven up in price because he knows that you have more than just a couple. the key to this kind of stuff is horse trading. You need to get it for as cheap as you can get it, for as little as you can get, whatever. And if you come on to a master horse trader, you're in trouble anyway, because he's going to take you for everything that you got. Now, as far as your medical stuff, that kind of stuff, wet naps, 4 or 5 small quantities. And if you can, don't go by yourself. Take someone with you, unless you're a lone wolf, and then you're out of luck. You're by yourself anyway. But if you've got a group, take 2 or 3, 4 guys with you. That way you can cover your back and they can watch your back, whatever else. And you can spread your stash out. You can have a large quantity of something, but everybody has got a little of it. That gives you an advantage. If you need to go get something from somebody to make a trade, you go get something from somebody, one of your group members. Every group member takes 2 lighters, or every group member takes half a package, or 6, 8 packages of matches, 4 or 5 bottles of alcohol, package of cigarettes, or half a pack of cigarettes, or whatever, 3 or 4 packages of seeds apiece, whatever. Don't do anything to give away that you have a large quantity of anything, because if you do, you've painted a target on your back and you've driven the prices up because they know you have it. I'm going to repeat that a lot, because the more you hear it, the more it's going to go into your head. Like a package of cigarettes. If I'm going to do cigarettes, I'm not going to take a package of cigarettes in with the plastic on it. That indicates that they're new, and I may have more of them. But if I were to take this in half empty and the package is all crumpled up, I just may have found those. Or I may have traded somebody for a half a package of cigarettes. Then they're not going to think that I've got 9 cartons back at my home location. So those are the kind of things that you got to keep in mind while you're doing this, because if you get into this situation, and when it does happen, morality is out the window. There are no cops, there's no police, there's nothing. It just may be a hired gun that the guy who's doing the trading has got standing over the door, being sure that somebody doesn't rob him. You just want to be very, very careful of how you say things and what you say. The easiest way to do that is by you asking the questions. You can control a conversation by asking questions, and you can get information for people and they don't even realize that they're talking. And ask the same question throughout the conversation different ways. Figure it out, do it, practice on somebody, whatever. And be careful of the words that you use that do not indicate quantity. No words that indicate quantity. And keep your answers short. No more than 2 or 3 words, because the more you get to talking, the bigger the chance that you're going to get your mind on something else, and then they're going to hit you with a question quick, and you're just going to give away the amount that you've got. So keep your answers, always keep your answers to very, very short, 2, 3, 4 word sentences, or just yes, no, and leave it at that. Nobody that I know of anymore has been through anything like this. The closest thing we'd have come to in the United States was the Great Depression. My granddad used to talk about people stealing shoes and clothes off of somebody because they didn't have anything. And bands of people getting together and going and hitting a farm and taking anything that they could get their hands on. That was the way the time was, and it will happen again. So just be very careful what you're doing, how you're doing, and just common sense. Because the people who have not prepared are going to be the people who you're going to have to watch out for, because they're going to do anything and everything they can do to feed their family and take care of their family, just like I'm going to. But I was smart enough ahead of time to put stuff away and do this for my wife and children. So that's where we're going to leave it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget, knowledge is power. Get some. Until next time.